This week we have been treated to a lot of noise from Rigathi Gachagua and his Mount Kenya Tanga political leaders. In particular, they have made demands on Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, whom they support, who is their Tanga leader. They have two specific demands. Demand number one has to do with the economy of the area, that they need certain minimum guarantees from William Ruto regarding the development of their area. Remember, they have accused Uhuru Kenyatta for not paying keen attention to the mountain area. They have argued in the past that although they contribute significantly to the GDP, including the exaggeration of 60% of the GDP, they do not receive corresponding development. That Uhuru has tended to favor other areas. Of course, that's a big lie. The second demand is a political demand. They want specifically to be assured that they will be given the position of deputy president from the former central province and the position of perhaps prime minister from Mount Kenya East, the counties of Meru, Embu, and Tharaka, and a few other political demands. Now, on this cold morning, I want to tell my friends that we know the game. There's nothing to do with the demands from William Ruto. They are actually intending to left, as young people talk on WhatsApp. These are excuses. These are mere excuses because the ultimate and the final intention from the Mount Kenya Tanga Brigade is to leave William Samoei Ruto. I have said this in the past, now it has come to pass. Before we look at why they would want to leave William Samoei Ruto, because it was always going to be so, let us look at why it is true that actually those are mere excuses. I want to base myself on mere logic, simply on logic, and nothing more than logic. First, if you produce 42%, you contribute 42% of the GDP, why would you go to somebody who produces or who contributes less than 5% of the GDP and go with a begging bowl? How do you go and beg from Ruto, who comes from a place that contributes less than perhaps 5% GDP? Logic refuses. But more interesting is how Rigathi Gachagua and his people stand logic on its head by going to ask for a political position from William Samoei Ruto. Logic refuses. The Mount Kenya community has about between 27 and 30% of the vote in this country, projected at 10 million strong in 2022, against Ruto's perhaps 2 million. Now, logic, inakataa kabisa. How do you, with the 10 million votes, go and beg somebody for a position, somebody with 2 million votes? How does Mount Kenya, with the 42% of GDP, go and ask for development from a person who has less than 5% of GDP? How does Mount Kenya, with 10 million votes, go and ask for political favors from William Samoei Ruto, who is coming with about 2 million votes? Where is the logic, Rigathi Gachagua? There is no logic. And that's why I'm saying these are mere excuses. Because what I'm saying, it would not be impossible for 10 million strong Mount Kenya people to support a 2 million candidate. A candidate bringing 2 million. But you do not go to that candidate to ask for positions. You dictate. History is full of examples where big, powerful communities and individuals put in office in the palace for king and queen in the White House for president, in State House for president, made prime ministers and to be heads of government. They have been made that. They have been made queens and kings and presidents and prime ministers and captains by people who are stronger than them. But it's always for a reason. And usually it will be the bidding. So if Rigathi Gachagua and his Mount Kenya leaders were honest, if they were not looking for excuses to run away from William Samoei Ruto, they would not be engaged in the circus of asking for position. In fact, they will be telling Ruto, look here, we are putting you in the White House, in the State House. But this is us. We are distributing, donating to you this small power, but the rest is ours. They wouldn't even be talking about it in public. It will be obvious. In any case, a Ruto government without Kikuyu support cannot last even for a month. Because it will be them who will have given him all the powers, all the votes, all the MPs, all the resources. How would they go in public, in highly publicized meetings, to tell us they are making demands? Now as to why. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua and his team are beginning to prepare to leave Ruto? They have simply smelled the coffee. There are signs on the mountain, and I said it. There are signs on the mountain first that the mountain is restless in terms of who is speaking for them. I said it before. There's no way the Kikuyu will allow these young fellows, these nobodies, and I respect them a lot. But from a political point of view, these are not very strong people. The Kikuyu will not allow these young fellows, these inconsequential political leaders, to speak for the community. They may speak for themselves. So they are beginning to sense that nobody is recognizing their leadership in terms of they being the people who can speak for the community. The community may even vote for Ruto, but they will not be led there by the young people who are masquerading as leaders from the Kikuyu community. That will not happen. Secondly, they are beginning to sense from the time of the BBI passage and what is going on in the country and the way Uhuru Kenyatta is playing his cards, they are beginning to sense the ground shifting. And I said this before. I said Ruto has been commanding Mount Kenya region, but that will shift, and it has begun. So Rigathi Gachagua and his people have begun to sense that shift, and therefore they are preparing to left, and they are indeed leaving, whether you like it or not. They have also seen, and this is very common in politics, the politics of association, that you associate with somebody and you know, if I continue associating with this man, my own future is at stake. My own political life is gone. And therefore, Rigathi Gachagua and the Kimani Ichung'was are beginning to realize, if they continue associating with William Samoei Ruto, and I'm being very honest, 2022 they will have a problem. That they will be fighting, soon they will be fighting for their own political survival. How does a man grasping for breath, how does Alice Wahome grasping for breath in her pursuit to remain an MP, not even to be the governor of Murang'a, which was her dream, and I encouraged her, just to remain MP for Kandara? They are going to be struggling as we head towards 2022. So one, obviously, they will have no time for a person associated with defeat. Secondly, they will have no time even to campaign for themselves. And therefore, if Ruto continues to hunt for this job as we move to 2022, with such a clear signs as Mount Kenya leaving him, and as we have said before, without Mount Kenya, what other votes will William Samoei Ruto have? Therefore, if we will continue to persist, to be obstinate, that he must run in 2022, my friend, my deputy president, William Samoei Ruto, will be looking behind. He will not see one of these fellows from Mount Kenya because they will be struggling for their own survival. And I very much doubt that even then they will succeed because the Mount Kenya region has opened its eye and they are beginning to look for their leader. Either the leader they will support under the guidance of their leader, Uhuru Kenyatta, or their own leader they will come across themselves, most likely from their own area. Either it is Uhuru giving them Raila Odinga or Mudavadi or Kalonzo or Gideon, whoever it is, they will listen to that. But more likely, as I suspect, they will come up with their own. And that time is now. And therefore the excuses from Rigathi Gachagua and the other Tanga Mount Kenya leaders, those excuses are obvious that the divorce on the mountain is certain and complete.